Bang, bang.
What the hell was that?
I knew it would set you off. All right, bang, welcome to the mid-show. We're here. Danny's not here today. He is at Storm Chasers. Mm-hmm. Struck out night one.
What, they get close? They were at
NC
State against
Duke,
right?
Yes,
Yeah, the game was
night.
tight. I watched it for a minute until the hockey game started.
Over to USF, Dave. Who do you think they hit it? I don't know who they have. Let's look that up.
That's I'm guessing conference tournament game or something for them.
For USF? No, I think they'll start next week.
Early.
The Valley starts this week.
Valley,
that won't be conference tournament week.
Yeah,
though.
no.
For them, probably not.
USF. South Florida's in a real league.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Stephen F. Austin or some shit.
Are you gonna say the Valley's not a real league, Chief?
The Valley's a great basketball conference.
Yeah.
Missouri Valley?
Oh yeah, that's a very good basketball.
I feel like it's not as good since.
They keep getting poached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got Wichita poached. They got Creighton poached.
Yep. Loyola.
Loyola got poached, which is crazy because Loyola was like the newest member
of that crew.
I want to give
from
them a quick shout out, by the way. They've had an awesome fucking year.
Yeah, been great. They went from Horizon.
Yep.
And then they fucking jumped right to 8. So
that's
Loyola.
a big ass jump. And last year they really struggled. They were only like 12 and 25 last year.
I wish they. Do you remember? You guys might not even remember because you're not old enough. But like that Conference USA in the early 2000s, that used to be like a fun league. It was Cincinnati, Marquette, DePaul.
Is Memphis in there?
I think Memphis was in there. Mm-hmm. That I don't know. I feel like that's another thing. Chip Kelly is right. They should just go back, like just have football. If you're going to expand for football, just leave everything else alone.
Did he say that recently? Because I seen that people.
Yeah, like he said that. I think kind of towards the end of the year, whereas like the other sports do, like lacrosse and hockey, just like Notre Dame's in the Big Ten for hockey and the ACC for everything else. So like you could figure something out, and then there's Big Ten hockey and Big Ten lacrosse, but then like John Hopkins is in the Big Ten.
They needed an adult in the room.
Yeah.
To just be like, hey, let's really think about this.
Right.
I get you want to do this for reason X, but like let's maybe do this.
Right. But I think it's the conferences. I don't know. Like the Big Ten still wants all the money from Big Ten football, but like I feel like you could just leave the other sports alone. Just leave them alone. Let football be
football and basketball.
Let football be a multi-billion-dollar thing and see it. But I don't like the basketball expansion.
Why not? Well, for basketball it matters less. You're still playing everybody every year.
You're not. I think they should put the Big East back.
So when
the way
there's
it
16
was.
teams, you're telling me they're not going to play.
They don't play 2 home games. They don't play a home and home like they used to in the ACC. There's 17 teams in that league.
So
you used to have Duke play Carolina, and Carolina played Duke every year, and that might be
that still happens.
I think that might still happen, but like Wake Forest and Duke don't necessarily play every year, home and home. Like
they'll play each other at least once though.
Yeah, but it's an unbalanced schedule. Go back to having a balanced schedule. More is not always better.
I agree.
I'm fired up on the playoff expansion thing because I saw Elliot Friedman talking to he's like the Schefter kind of hockey, and he was on Chicklets saying like the NHL is thinking about they're kicking around the idea of expanding to 10, and then kind of like the NBA is doing like 7 versus 10, 8 versus 9 to get into that playoff format. It's like that fucking stinks. That stinks.
There'd be a plan.
Is this my net?
Yeah, a play-in, which is what the NBA has now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I still don't know how it works, and I think we're going on year 3, which is probably more of a me problem.
I think that's an NBA problem too.
I think there are some people that don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works. I know the Bulls won a game last year and then they lost, and then somehow they're not in.
Yeah, it's more confusing than it ought to be.
Yeah.
To put it that way. That's why we did the spring draft yesterday. That's why March Madness, don't touch a thing.
Right.
whatever. Field of 68 was fine.
Because those Tuesday, Wednesday games don't really.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And then also, like, you get a couple more big programs in that were, like, had, like, 10 to 12 losses.
And I do like how instead of just having, like, the 16 seeds all be in the play-in, I like how they have, like, we're having a 12 seed playoff.
Yeah,
You'll get like at least one or two genuine good games.
Yeah, that's like the Arizona State versus like the
I feel like it's always like Mississippi State.
Syracuse.
Yeah,
Syracuse has been in that game a shit ton. I feel,
and then they've gone on a run afterwards.
They're notorious for that. Hey, we do want to talk about our friends at Miller Lite because no matter how you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day, it's a great excuse to gather with friends and crack open.
You want to try that again?
Crack open a cold one. Make these moments even better with Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer. St. Patrick's Day celebrations. How about, don't be slow. Reserve your Miller keg now.
Do that. And if it slips your brain, just go to MillerLite.com, find those delivery options near you. If you're going to a house party, especially we were talking about how like there's usually like a little lull in the bars and people go home because they're too tired in the morning. You always want to rally in the afternoon. You might need a little nap. Time up that rally. Get that Miller Lite delivered right to your door and get ready to go.
That's a great call.
Mm-hmm.
Great call.
Beer delivery on St. Patrick's Day is like of utmost importance.
Yeah, but be stocked up. Like make sure you're
and even if you
but you just never know when it's going to hit you and how many people are coming over.
Even
like
if
you might need
you can find Miller Lite just about anywhere.
Yeah, you might. But my point is, you might need reinforcements.
Exactly.
Yeah. So celebrate St. Patrick's Day this year with Miller Lite. Go to MillerLite.com/Redline to find delivery options near you, or you can pick it up pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Tastes like Miller Time Chicago. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Boom. Go do it. Nice, healthy sports debate to kick us off.
Yeah, just got us going.
Bitching about conferences
and the NHL. Like, although I don't like the way that college, I've made that abundantly clear on this show. Don't touch hockey. Don't touch the NHL playoffs. Give me that 1-8. Like, imagine if the
16 teams already make it, right?
Yeah, which is half the league.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
more than that, no.
Yeah,
if your record's not as good as at least half the league, then you don't make the playoffs.
I agree. The only thing that I like, and it's something that baseball does, or it used to do, I don't know, but I love game 163. I hate how so if there's like a legitimate tie in points at the end, I hate, like, the NHL's got like 7 different tiebreakers, like all home wins in regulation.
Yeah, right.
You ended up with the same amount of points. You played the same schedule.
One game.
Let 8-9 play one game.
That's it.
Let the 8th seed host it. And if they lose, they're out.
No,
I like that. I like the dramatics of that, but only if there's a genuine tie in points for that final spot.
Those game 163s are like the most exhilarating baseball games of the season.
So are the one-game wild cards. Were great too, and they killed that. Which whatever, a 3-game series, but there was still something to
there was
one
some
game.
Juice, yeah.
See, I can see it. I didn't like the one-game wild card.
Really? I
liked it watching as a fan. I know.
That Mets-Giants game, Connor Gillespie, that game had juice. That went from being a one-game full of fucking excitement and juice to a series that's just kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but you played 162 games, losing one. And a lot of the times it was uneven divisions caused it. So like you could have 95 wins and be the third place team in the East, and then you're playing the second best team in the Central that has 12 less losses than you. Mm-hmm. It's one thing if you have the exact same record and then you're playing for a chance to go to the playoffs. 162 games to lose it in one game to a team that was way less worthy of you I understand that. But that's not what game 163 was. Game 163 is like mano-a-mano, heads up. Yep. It's like let's do or die.
Throw your best pitcher out there.
Exactly. But that's why that
John Dank start, I remember that was in 2008. He got shit on by Joe Mauer and Justin Morneau that year, and it was lefty. In that game, he went, I want to say, you can look it up, I want to say they went 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts that game.
Who did? Who went 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts?
Morneau and Mauer, and that's after, I think Morneau won the MVP that year. And then John Danks threw the absolute best fucking start of his career, and Tomei hit that tank that almost left Illinois. That was like the most fun I've ever had watching baseball for one singular moment, aside from.
Dude, one game's fuck. There's a reason why the tournament is so awesome. Like, can't you argue that too? Like, a lot of these college kids, like, they played
It's one shining moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You played 30-some games to lose in one swoop. I think you could always argue that. I mean, I know there's a difference between 33 and 162, but still.
John Danks is a name I haven't thought about in a long time.
You should. And Gavin Floyd, for that matter.
Yeah.
Right, Dave?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You should. But hockey is the only one, I think, that has a decent argument for it, unfortunately.
Why?
Because 8 seeds can beat 1 seeds. So,
They
like,
can
if the hot
beat
team,
them.
they can't. So, if, like, a hot team gets in,
Yeah.
and they're somehow the 9th or the 10th best team. But I'm against it solely because we can't keep letting half the league in.
Yeah, which the NHL already does.
Yeah.
If they expand to 36 teams, you might be able to convince me into some kind of argument, but I love the fact that one plays 8, and like last year you had Boston who lit the world on fire in the regular season. They ran into the Florida Panthers, and Florida Panthers beat their ass.
Was that a sweep?
No, I think that was like 5 or something. Right?
Yeah.
It was definitely a beatdown.
I think they might have won 4 straight, like dropped the first 2 and then ripped off 4 in a row, something like that, if I remember correctly. But I don't want the Panthers, because they earned that spot to finish 8th. What are you going to put them at a further competitive disadvantage than playing the best team in there and having that team have home ice advantage? Like, they made it in. Like, I don't want them walking in limping to Boston or whoever the 1 seed is on any given year. Like, it's already going to be an uphill battle for them. They have to play. Most 8 seeds have to play perfect to beat the 1 seed. Like, we'll get in
just enough to get in.
We'll get that playoff revenue, and great.
And they don't talk about how much it fucks up your trade deadline.
Totally.
Because there's, we're like tweeners. We're like kind of buyers. We're kind of sellers.
Got to make up our mind here. Yeah.
It does fuck up the trade deadline.
It does. It does.
But what hockey's trade deadline is...
Is it 3 days from now?
Is it obviously... What's the best trade deadline? I would say historically...
Baseball.
It was
Baseball.
baseball.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It used to be awesome.
I think baseball was the best.
Yeah.
Then I'd probably say NBA, NHL, NFL.
I feel like no stars get moved
in football
and basketball at the deadline. Like, all the big names in basketball move in the summer.
In the summer, yeah.
Where I do feel like hockey, you still
there are
get...
deadline deals though, for sure.
Yeah, but like usually it's like, all right, we're gonna get a big man. You know, we need some rebound. We need a guy to help us
Right,
off
like
some scoring off
Like
the
Harden,
bench.
Durant. I mean, that's tough. In recent years,
That's true.
Huge.
That's true. That's a good counter. But I do like Kane got traded last year. Like there's always a few. Noah Hannafin's probably going to get traded this year. Like, there's always a few like
Carlson,
big names that are moving at the deadline.
Football never happens.
Still NBA too, though.
Roquan.
This might just be a fan preference thing.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
think
you can't say like a 34-year-old Patrick Kane is more relevant than a 30-whatever Kevin Durant who's still in his prime.
No, yeah, but sure. But I think on average, there's more big name like guys would be like, all right, well, like we traded for a guy who's going to be on our first line. That happens in hockey probably more than it happens in other. And I also think volume of trades. I think there's probably just more trades in hockey at the
probably
traditionally, and that could just be a function of like roster spots available too. Like NBA is 12 and hockey is 20. You know,
what's the like when you think about a trade deadline trade? Any sport, what do you guys think of? Like, give me one story. I'll tell you mine if I'm.
All right, yeah.
It's 1,000% the year that the Cubs traded for Nomar.
I was at a Toby Keith concert when that concert.
Were you?
When the news broke. So, like, this is how old I am and how long.
I was
going to
say, if you were at a Toby Keith concert,
that was 2003, right?
2 maybe.
I think no, it was 2003. No, it was 04. It was the year the Red Sox won it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 04.
Yes.
So it was summer of 2004. I was at the Tinley Park Toby Keith thing, and you had the old flip phones, right? And you could like text in to the screen that would hang down, and like everybody was just texting about like, so every message at the Toby Keith concert was just about Nomar getting traded to the Cubs. That was like a holy shit.
I remember sitting there and being like, fuck, they didn't really do anything at the deadline, you know? And then it was a late, like, 3:36, like, right across the wire, like, wait, breaking. And this was when ESPN News was huge.
Oh,
It was like Michael Kim or some shit. Remember him?
Yeah,
It was like the king of ESPN
Michael Kim
News.
was on. He never left ESPN.
Yeah, and then ESPN
slept
News,
at
the
the
little
desk.
box. It was like Nomar Garcia Parra to the call. It was like, holy fuck, Jim Hendry, you fucking did it.
And that was crazy because both teams were in it, right? It's not like the Red Sox were. They went on to win the World Series.
Yeah.
So like the Red Sox selling like their iconic player, and then when they end up, who's it, Orlando Cabrera or somebody like that, ended up being taking Nomar. But that's probably the biggest one ever.
Yeah, that's definitely the most.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like I'm saying, in season trades.
Yeah.
You know, because Khalil Mack was tremendous. Jay Cutler,
Right.
tremendous.
I mean, Wayne Gretzky got
Yeah,
traded. Yeah.
exactly. But personal wise, like, do you have one like that in season?
The two came to my head immediately. One was one that didn't happen. I was in Myrtle Beach when I was 17 for a baseball tournament, and it said the Sox were nearing a trade for Alfonso Soriano. I don't know why. I don't remember why or how it fell through, but I remember thinking like, "Oh fuck yeah," because that would have been 2006. So they already had Tommy. They were still good post World Series year, and it fell through. And then the most recent one when the Sox traded for Kimbrel from the Cubs, because that's when it's like, oh fuck, they got Hendricks and Kimbrel. And Kimbrel, take away starter reliever, he might have been the best pitcher in baseball for that half a season.
Oh, yeah.
He was absolutely unhittable for the Cubs. Just wiffle ball video game shit gets to the Sox polar opposite.
He definitely had.
He gave up a bomb in his first. So the first team he pitched against was the Cubs, if I recall correctly, and he gave up a bomb that tied the game. The Sox ended up winning, I believe, at Wrigley, but he gave up a bomb to someone and blew the game in his first start or first appearance post trade.
There were definitely ebbs and flows with the Cubs too, though. And Kimbrel.
Oh yeah, ton of them.
He was
Yeah.
wildly inconsistent at times.
I don't know if this probably won't resonate for you guys, and I was young when it happened, but when Patrick Waugh got traded to the Avalanche, and they went on to win the Stanley Cup, they had all the fights with the Red Wings that year. But he was playing in Montreal. He's already won 2 cups there. He's from there. He's a legend. And then the coach left him in when he was playing for Montreal. The coach left him in. They lost 9 or 10-0. They got fucking smoked. And Patrick Waugh was like, they're intentionally embarrassing me. So he as he was getting off the ice, the GM sat right there, and he's like, I'm fucking done, trade me. And that's he was and then he got traded within a week, I think. And without that, all those Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, the rivalry, none of that happens. That moment where the coach was being a dickhead.
I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, you do remember that?
I don't
Or you
remember
seen
it in
the
real time. I
documentary?
just seen it afterwards. I don't remember who it was, but I remember Waugh being there was some type
he
of
hated them.
confrontation.
Yeah. I'm glad he's back in hockey too.
Have they rekindled with him?
The Habs?
Yeah.
I don't know actually. He coached the Avalanche, and then he was coaching junior. He might have owned a junior team. His son was playing. His son was kind of a crazy person too, fighting people in hockey all the time. He's the head coach of the Islanders now. I don't know if he's ever been had a Chris Chelios night, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
What's the logic by pulling your goalie if things get out of hand? Just don't embarrass him, or don't.
For a guy like
confidence
8-9 8-9 or whatever it was in that game, that is you don't deserve this kind of thing. Sometimes you'll see if you get down 3-0 early, and it might not even be the goalie's fault necessarily, but you'll yank him just to wake up everyone else on the bench. You'll see what the fuck you guys did, and then you kind of get when you pull the goalie, the backup goalie gets a chance to warm up and stretch it a little bit, so it kind of acts as an extra timeout. So there are things like that, and it is a confidence thing. Our buddy Scott had, he was, you could argue, he's one of the greatest backups ever when he was in Chicago, because he would, they don't win the cup in 15 without Scott coming in.
I remember RA
and that was
just argument that he was the better goalie between him and Corey Crawford. He's Scott's the better goalie.
RA said that.
He had a stuff. It was against the Bruins.
He didn't play in that series.
I'm almost 90%. It was a breakaway, and Scott Darling, he just absolutely stuffed someone on a breakaway. And RA
Preds.
I mean, you can look this up. He was very vocal about. Yeah, I remember yellow.
Yeah, it was a Preds.
So it was Preds.
Yeah. Let me. Obviously, I love Scott. I just was pumping his tires there. Scott doesn't think that.
I understand that, but that's just to show
there were people,
how good he was.
It was like one of those. It's kind of like what I was saying with Tyson Bagent and Fields earlier this year, where like Scott got put in because Crawford was struggling. Scott played so well that they came back and won the game. If they had lost that game, they're automatically going back to Crawford. Scott played well enough to like earn the right to get another start. But it was like as soon as he looked a little shaky, he was getting the like they're putting Corey back first chance that they reasonably had, and that's like I think that's the right way to handle it. But Scott was never.
I'm not saying he was. I'm saying like he was so good as a backup that people were like,
that's fair. Yeah. People that was like a debate.
Yeah, definitely.
At one point. Yeah,
dude. But down 4, that feels like to me, and that feels more like he's getting shamed. It's like you're done with him. So you're telling me
you can't really bench a.
Depend. I mean, it could go both ways. Yeah. Sometimes it's like the goalie is the problem.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it is one of those things. It's like one of those levers you can pull to change momentum. So either it's somebody's fault. Either it's the goalie's fault, he's having a bad night, get the other guy in there, or the team is fucking dog shit, and you want to like take that opportunity to kind of shake him by the shoulders.
Yeah.
And like, hey, wake up. Yeah. And so, and now goalies kind of split like 55-45% sometimes, for some teams in games. So like your backup's pretty important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I've wondered that. Do you any more on that trade thing? Any more come to mind? I feel like that's a fun conversation.
It's always for baseball. It's because it's smack in the middle of the summer, and there's not much else going on other than baseball. So a lot of times it's like all eyes are on the deadline. It's got to be fun. Like so.
I mean, I can think of a big White Sox one when they traded for Ken Griffey Jr.
Those are always like.
But that was towards the deadline where they're trying to like get over the hump. And it was like and
he did. That was actually game 162.
Yeah.
Or 163 to kind of pull it all full circle. He had that throw. That was probably the last big play of his entire career.
Yeah.
He had that throw throughout which would have been the game tying run in the last game. And yeah, so I mean, I guess that Kenny Williams lever magic worked right there for that.
Trying to think of other Cubs ones now too.
Obviously that was
Marian Hossa getting traded to the Penguins felt big at the time.
Didn't he get traded to the Hawks on New Year's?
No, so he got traded to the Penguins from Atlanta, went to the Stanley Cup Final, lost to the Red Wings, signs with the Red Wings. Goes to the Stanley Cup Finals, loses to the Penguins, signs with the Hawks, and then he was injured. He came back on like Thanksgiving. That's what you're thinking of, and then finally he went to the Stanley Cup Finals 3 years in a row and got one.
I was in Madison, Wisconsin. I remember, and my buddy Mike was going nuts about how and I know it was on New Year's.
I mean, he might have done something on New Year's.
I remember him going crazy about Marian Hossa on New Year's, but it all blends together for me. For baseball though, they're like Jerry Dipoto. He's the GM of the Mariners.
Pat Bev getting traded.
There you go.
That was a big one.
I was watching a little Bucks Bulls the other night. He's such a little rat. I know.
He is. He's the fucking best.
I mean, here's one. You guys gave us fucking a shell of Jose Quintana.
Yeah, that was a big.
That was like May though. That wasn't deadline.
Okay.
No.
That was like May.
I don't think so, dude.
It wasn't deadline. Look it up. When was it? I thought that was like May of that. That would have been 2017.
It was 2017. You're right. But still, Cease and Eloy
are the last three remaining. Well, and
Moncada.
Yeah. So those four guys.
Yeah.
Did you like vibes down there?
For the Sox? Seemed like upbeat. I mean, I don't have anything really to judge it. I wasn't walking around him as much last year, but
Yeah,
it seemed like talking to different guys and like I forgot my backpack, so I had to run back like where we were playing catch and stuff, and I talked to Colson, something like
Montgomery.
I don't know who it was.
If it was Colson Montgomery,
He's a big dude. And he's like, "Oh, who are you guys with?" And I'm like, "Oh, Barstool." He's like, "Oh, man, that's awesome. Like, thanks for coming." I'm like, "No problem."
Well,
and
if it was Colson Montgomery, he's supposed to be like the future of the White Sox.
I don't know. He was a big. I
don't think they have
6'4"?
too many Colsons.
Yeah,
And the name was Colson.
I'm almost positive.
Then it was Colson Montgomery. He's
I'll look up his face.
Babyish face. I mean, they're all young. They're all young kids back there. They're all like 20, 22.
Obviously,
I don't think this was him.
If it was Colson Montgomery is a top 10 prospect in baseball. And
Maybe
he's
it
a
was.
Shortstop. He gets comparisons to Corey Seager. I have said this privately. I feel obligated to say it publicly now.
Good.
I think he is a prospect that is White Sox proof. I'm not talking injuries. I'm talking production.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can never.
I bet he's not.
He doesn't do any of the things.
I don't know if he's White Sox Dave proof. We just put that up there.
You always say that. That's no. He tries to put his stink on me, doesn't he, Ed?
it's been reversed in recent years for sure.
With me?
No, like he's the guy, not you.
No, I know.
Although, like your track
Colson
record does
Montgomery-
speak for itself.
It definitely does.
My team just won the lottery and got an all-time generational player, but I'm a mush.
What are you?
That was I did that.
How did you do that? You weren't there that night.
I did that.
How did you do that?
I willed it into existence.
I willed it into existence.
No, it wasn't. You don't remember that whole Chicklets thing? They were like, "Oh, I don't think there's no way they give it to Chicago. Like, no way. Like all the controversy, the beach, like, no way." I was like, "Listen, I think you guys are crazy. Here's what's going to happen. The Blackhawks are going to win this thing. They're original 6 franchise. They need a fucking kick in the ass, and it's good for hockey when the Blackhawks are good."
That's a fact. But I was like tweeting like the lottery, the Tankathon simulator like every day for like 10 months.
Yeah, but
And I'm doing it again with Celebrini. And I went to the bar, went back to the River North where all good things happen to get the number 1 pick.
we'll be back there this year.
Will?
Yeah,
You're coming this year?
sure, I'll go. I mean, unless if that's going to mess with the juju.
I don't know. Well, you were there for the Hail Mary against the
Yeah,
the
that's
Texans.
true.
So
We've had great luck there
I know.
at Barstool North. Great luck.
Yeah. So I was talking to somebody. It's like the Hawks actually do need that pick. Like it is like because everyone the other players that are like in the top 5 this year are like good. Like they're really good players. There's only one guy who I'm like, that guy's special.
He's the guy.
And they got to get that guy.
Yeah.
They got
Macklin Celebrini.
Yes, sir.
That's a fucking sweet sports name.
Where's he from, Dave?
Michigan, right?
No, he plays for BU. Right? He played his junior hockey out in Geneva, Chicago Steel.
Oh, did he?
But he's a Canadian.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought I wasn't saying he's from Michigan. I thought he played at Michigan.
No, he plays for BU.
Let's pause for a sec, talk about our guys at ChevyDriveChicago.com because the auto show may be over, but the best deals at your Chevy dealer are still going. If it's time for a new car, your local Chevy dealer has something for you. The all-new Equinox, Trax, and Blazer are SUVs you'll want to test drive and drive often. Giving everything from style to comfort, safety, and plenty of room, there's a Chevy SUV for you. If you're watching on Rumble or YouTube, you see something in Chief's hand, shoot the pan over, Danny Lance. Let's hit the pan. Danny Lance. There it is.
He finally fucking did it.
He finally did it. Chief has.
I think people thought I was lying.
I thought you were lying.
I thought you were lying too.
That was just never going to get a car?
Yeah, I thought you were just like, I'm
mooching my car all the time.
Yeah.
I was probably 5 times in the last 5 years.
Beautiful. What'd you buy?
Chevy Blazer.
What year?
Chevy Blazer.
2024.
Let's go.
Brand new. How many miles on that thing?
The guy, they drove it up less. They drove it up to me to the office today. Shout out the guys at the Flossmoor Chevy.
So like 30.
No, it was like 180, I think it said. So
Dave, you want to go in there and just start smelling?
Oh, it had a great smell. It had
car smell, man.
Pungent new
That's
car
I'm serious. How do car dealers work at those places and not just like sit in the cars the whole time just for good smells? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like if someone farts at a car dealership, you think they just hop into a car?
I kind of think there's got to be like a no farting inside rule at a dealership.
Yeah, I guess.
Like we can't taint this smell. It's like
Can't
one of the
mess
best
it up.
smells on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Enough about
I'm very
Proud of you for
excited.
finally pulling the trigger.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So
I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
it's actually I think
got a
it's
color?
It's like a gray. It's
Gray?
like a dark gray. Like I don't know what
Like
the
a
actual-
graphite.
Yeah, you can go take a walk. I think I'm parked right next to you.
Are you?
Unless
Nice.
there's another Tesla out there.
So head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to learn more about these cars and find your local Chevy dealer today. That's great, man.
Yeah, I've
awesome.
literally, they parked it on like the main street out front of the office, so I drove it through the parking lot and parked it. That's all I've done.
Did you? So you kind of bought it sight unseen?
So technically,
Did the shop click and drive?
yeah, basically
Nice.
went to Chevy.
I bought my car.
But like we went to the auto show, I felt like I got a good feel for it there, and then technically, I mean, I'm getting it, but technically, today through Thursday is like a trial, but I'm just gonna drive it to the dealership and like sign all the paperwork on Friday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but I didn't know this. They say he's like the Blazers are modeled after the Camaro. He's like it's got a Camaro engine, so.
It's got a little. You can
Yeah,
pick them up,
got
and
some
put them
zip
down.
to it,
You
yeah.
want to race me later?
Not with this.
We're gonna
No,
be zipping up.
I'm not gonna fuck it up on my first day. So
We're gonna be zipping to the Wisconsin Dells.
yeah,
Thing.
yeah. We could do a little road trip in it this year. Yeah.
That'd be nice. It's such a strange thing buying a new car, man. Like you're like,
Well, I always have this thing. No, it doesn't matter what it is. Like anytime I realize that I'm not a commitment phobe necessarily, but I always like
I am.
any big decision. I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I just end up like what's that, paralysis by analysis?
Yeah.
And I end up just being like, it's fine. And that could be like golf clubs, like any like real purchase that's, let's say $500 or north, a TV. Like that TV, I have no excuse for not upgrading that before. It took me years. And I'm like, my current one is fine, which it was. But it was like, I in my head, I'm like, I'm going to buy the wrong one. I'm going to spend this money. I'm not going to like it. It's not going to be enough of an upgrade over the one I have now for me to actually enjoy it. I'll just be mad about the money.
Dude, yeah. And
I'm
that's
the opposite.
I know.
like you'll just pull the trigger, like shoot
So
think later.
you want to hear
Well,
what
that
I'm doing
makes
this
sense.
afternoon? I've talked about how I'm renovating my kitchen and living room a few times. It's kind of snowballed into I'm just doing like my whole house at this point.
What else are you doing?
Well, so the way my apartment, the way most apartments in Chicago are structured, if I paint just my kitchen and living room, it's gonna look like shit because all the walls connect and there's no doors. So I got to go all the way with the same
whole
colored
thing.
paint. So instead of waiting, because the construction finally officially starts, they're gonna start knocking down and all the permits and shit are signed on the 25th. I'm going to Lowe's today. I'm gonna start painting on my own today.
I don't know about that.
I also,
I'm gonna regret it, but I just
You
can't
are
wait, and I want to just get paint on the wall.
I hate painting too.
Do you have to do the baseboards too?
Yeah.
Oh no,
You're
you should.
fucked.
Yeah, you should just
You're fucked.
get a real person to do it,
But dude, paint.
Or I could just do it on my own and then fuck it up and then
hire a new person.
probably hire to do it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the same thing.
That's what's gonna end up happening. I've already resigned to that fact, but I just want to like get paint on the walls and be like, oh.
I bought a place last summer and I like have done like a bunch of random shit to it, and then now I like went completely out of order. I'm finding out. Like I had like you've been in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have like a middle, like there's a wall between the kitchen and the front room, and I'm like, fuck
that wall.
So I knock it down. So I knocked it down,
Okay.
and then now I'm like, fuck! I literally just paid to paint that wall. There's like electric that I ran like can lights all the way down here. So now it's like I don't know how the room's gonna be structured, and I'm just like, you're an idiot, dude.
Yeah.
So I make sure you know what you want to do, because
That's why I end up always doing nothing. I'm like
Yeah, well, the way I figure it is, it's just paint. It's not like structural or anything. If
That's true.
I fuck it up that bad,
Yeah.
you know. But
But it's
the
like-
way I'm doing this is gonna save me money. So I'm
are
gonna
you doing
try.
it alone or do you have a helper?
I'll have helpers.
Okay.
My brother is coming over this afternoon.
How big is the wall?
painting.
Are we talking?
Painting.
It's legitimately. This is why I'm doing the hallway and it's straight wall. There's nothing I got to go around.
Like I'm gonna be like,
But I'm
Daniel's
saying
son, or
I'm
you gonna
not.
be out
I'm
there
not
for a while.
I'm not touching anything that had like the wall the TV's hung on, the wall the fireplace, like all of that stuff. That there's stuff I got to get around.
Yeah.
I'm not touching that. That I know I'll fuck something up. This is it's straight drywall, so I'm doing it on my own. I'm gonna try to do it.
How big is the area?
I measured
bigger-
it.
is
It's
More surface area than what's in this
It's a
room.
22-foot hallway, and I got 10-foot ceilings.
Okay. So
10 feet. How you
I'm wondering what you guys think about this, but I think asking somebody to help you paint is a bigger ask than help.
It's my brother, though. I don't ask him
Than
to tell him.
asking somebody to help you move. I think it's a worse job to paint.
But it's
than to
your brother. You tell your brother these things. You don't ask.
That's
you lean on him a lot.
Yeah, he leans on me for a lot too.
Does he?
Yeah.
What do you do for him?
He borrows my car. He drives my car as much as I do now that I walk to work.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a dumb take.
Why? Painting is the fucking worst, dude.
Moving is way worse. Hey, dude, why don't we
Lifting
get this
heavy
fucking
shit? Yeah.
Let's get this grand piano through this fucking tight space.
No,
and
you
then
don't ask
carry
someone
it.
to move that shit.
No.
But
That's like an
still.
unrealistic example.
I disagree on how my friend moved in high school.
Move the piano?
We moved a fridge, dude.
Why are
is
you
not a
taking
piano,
a
Ed.
fridge?
Still,
fridge
Appliances
is a pretty,
stay.
It's still a big appliance, Dave.
Appliances
So
typically
here's
stay.
Sure, it's not a grand piano. But
if
you get my point.
anybody listening is in need of
Painting fucking sucks is my point, though.
it does suck. If anybody is in need of an appliance package, stove, fridge, microwave, dishwasher, DM me.
Hit up your
I'm
guy.
gonna have
WSB.
all 4 of those things in like 3 weeks,
You're gonna see.
and I want them the fuck gone. Just come and grab them.
Now, does it
You're
come
just gonna
with
put
like
them in your alley, dude.
Does it come with a half bottle of Frank's Red Hot sauce and whatnot?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. See, you get game used Frank's
Game used,
Red
yeah.
Hot sauce
Mm-hmm.
from White Sox.
A little baking soda.
There you go. Like
Motors
that.
out of there.
Does that shit really work?
Yeah, fuck it.
What?
Baking soda absorbs. That's what it does. It
Baking soda and
absorbs-
vinegar is like that's like you clean your shower with that.
Yeah, but I feel like it's
Little lemon
become
juice?
like I don't know.
No,
Ed
that-
likes the chemicals.
No, it's become like
put a open little box of baking soda in there. That takes
yeah, I know.
all
Almost,
the smell out.
almost all fridge has it.
Yeah.
When I was in my freshman year in the dorms, you know how they like before like winter break or whatever, or this was Thanksgiving break, you gotta like clear your fridge, like unplug it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was told I didn't have to, so I didn't do it. And in my fridge was like fucking turkey burgers, shrimp,
Ugh.
like a whole bunch of shit.
Just all the stinkiest foods imaginable.
Yeah, and it was either my roommate, who's fucking moron, or it was the RA, unplugged it after I left.
Ooh.
We got back to that fucking school, and the whole
You
house,
gotta throw the whole thing away.
dude, the whole floor smelled awful. I basically saw green when I opened that thing, and I had to clean it out.
Just like instant vomit.
I slept with the door open that day. It was that bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Gross.
disgusting. And so I kept it. I cleaned it all out.
I don't think you can sell that.
Then I gotta like get a Craigslist or a Facebook.
You just want to give it away.
Appliances feel weird in that sense, though. We're like,
It's all like newish.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Why are you getting new? Does it not fit in the new layout?
No, if I'm doing everything else new, I just want everything to be new.
damn, Dave,
Damn, big project.
It is.
big
Well,
WSD project.
I'll get the money back. I think that's how it works, right? When you resell it,
Unless the housing market crashes.
Why you reselling this fucker?
eventually.
Yeah, moving out to the suburbs.
No, I'm not living in Illinois unless it's in Chicago again.
Interesting.
I'll probably end up in the suburbs.
Will ya?
I think so.
Which one?
Who knows? I just know that like I'll be talking to that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't seem happy about it.
Yeah. No, I like the city, but it's like I don't know. All my family's out there. I'll probably end up.
It's
being
so
out
far
there.
away, isn't it?
St. Charles?
Yeah, you got a car now. That's impossible to get to without a car.
Yeah. Well, you take I
was joking. It's very easy to get to St. Charles from.
but then you need somebody to pick you up, and then it's like, hey, can I borrow your car to go to the store?
I'm saying you have a car. You can
Yeah.
get there very easily.
No, but I'm saying it was kind of easy with the metro too.
Yeah.
Get off at Geneva or La Fox, but yeah, no, I'm heading out there this weekend.
Dave, thoughts on Sydney Sweeney's performance on SNL?
She looks smart.
Very smart.
Yeah, super
Intelligent
smart.
young woman.
Yep,
Mhm.
she looks super smart.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch.
Seen any social clips?
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she looks smart.
Yeah.
Loved her goodbye montage where she
Mm-hmm.
was waving at everybody. That was nice.
Yeah, I thought I watched clips. I didn't watch the whole.
Did you watch the Shane Gillis one?
I've only seen the opening monologue for that. I was
Same.
just about to
I
ask.
saw the opening monologue and I saw the Trump shoes one.
Okay, and I think I saw. I feel like I remember seeing like gambling related one too.
I did hear that they didn't bitch out and dumb his jokes down as much as I assume they would have.
I heard him say that when they did the rehearsal for his monologue, he had like a different monologue.
Oh, really?
Because he thought if he went out with like the one he actually did, people would protest because he said, I don't know.
I know, like,
yeah.
I know, like, the second half of his jokes, a lot of it were stuff that was in his last special. Yeah. So people were like, oh, like it was like stuff we knew. But
yeah,
I want to say I think it was Danny who told me this. So he must have said this on his podcast that he talked to Louis C.K. and he was like, oh, dude, just play the hits. Like, don't try to do something new. I could be wrong, though. So,
I didn't know this. Someone else, maybe it was Danny, told me this story, too, that Shane Gillis, when he was first coming up, used to get shit for being too much like Louis C.K.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then, like, as he's become, like, his own person. He's huge, but it's like they're each other's favorite comedian now. Like, they both say, oh, who's your favorite comedian? Oh, Louis C.K. Who's your favorite comedian? Oh, Shane Gillis.
They both say that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
About each other, yeah. And I got to say, they're probably... I've seen Louis C.K. live twice. I saw him at Zany's with You, which was fucking incredible. Mm-hmm. And then I saw him at Chicago Theater. I took my dad, like, whatever his most recent one was. I love Louis C.K. I think Louis C.K. is like a genius.
He's funny.
Yeah.
All the best comedians are geniuses.
Yeah.
One of the best comics for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Portillo's, guys. Portillo's always sounds good. We had a nice week with Portillo's down in Scottsdale.
I've been drowning in au jus.
Can I say something?
It still sounds good.
You guys sent me home from the office after the snake draft yesterday. I got a Portillo's.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Beef.
Nice.
That was my lunch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys know the name, but what should he get? Chicago-style hot dogs and Italian beefs are the classics. You could even get your beef dipped in extra gravy and giardiniera. Having people over, fast-pack catering options are available for easy snacking. Won some bets, the big beef combo is a good parlay. Tossing a side dog and some onion rings, you earned it. Big night out, Portillo's delivers cheese fries and a cake shake are the perfect comfort combo. Walking the dog can't go wrong with a cake shake. I hope all the people out there are listening to my advice on the eclair cake.
Dude,
as well as
that was a game changer.
It is.
How is a place known for hot dogs and Italian beef? Their dessert
are elite.
Is elite.
Yeah,
it doesn't
elite.
Compute.
It really is.
It doesn't compute.
I'm happy you guys share that same love.
And I don't even know what an eclair is. Like, I don't know if I've ever had an eclair.
Like a donut.
Yeah, like there you see some bakeries will have it, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like a word I know that I don't.
Almost like a mini Long John.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Well, that's how it seemed like in the
flakery
cake. Like I didn't know what I was getting into when you were like singing its praises. I'm like, I'm just going in. I'll do basically a blind taste test. Mm-hmm. I'm an eclair guy now.
Yeah,
that was that good. Yeah.
So I got a DM from this is from Ross. Portillo's has made its way to Florida. This guy's from Massachusetts. And where they do not yet have Portillo's. And he's like, hey, I'm going to visit my mom. She lives next to a Portillo's down in Florida. What is the order? I have no idea what I'm getting into. He's like, I'm guessing cake shake. I'm like, brother,
listen.
Just order the menu and let it take and figure out what you like.
And listen to the snake draft we did.
That's what I did. I directed him.
If you guys didn't listen yet to last Thursday's episode with Lance Briggs, we did like a 15-20 minute Portillo snake draft. Mm-hmm. I had a blast.
We also kind of drafted the whole menu.
Yeah, there's still other things that.
Yeah, I know, but like,
but
you take 12 things like they're all good.
It's a lot.
It would take you a few trips to work your way through the whole menu.
Mm-hmm. Visit your local Portillo's or go to Portillo's.com to order your Chicago dog for pickup or delivery. Portillo's, it always sounds good. How pissed off are you at Arch Manning that he's not signing his waiver to be in the new video game?
Oh, I didn't even hear that. Yeah. Well, how much is he going to get for it?
It would be like $600, I'm pretty sure.
The report says Arch Manning will reportedly not opt into EA Sports college football because he's too focused on the upcoming season.
What the fuck does that mean? All right, if you want to opt out, that's fine. Okay, I guess. Like, it pisses me off, but if like, hey, like my name has a big brand attached, like I'm a brand, and I'm not going to sign up. I'm not going to get paid the same amount the fucking backup quarterback from University of Buffalo's making. No offense to that guy. But
if you're listening to me, I would love to talk to you.
Can I tell you something? I was gonna say Northern Illinois, but I'm like, maybe that guy actually said University of Buffalo. But so like, I do think that if you can give me that reason, like,
Sure.
hey, like it just doesn't work for me financially. Like I deserve more. It's not worth it to me to go through like the negotiation. So fuck it. Like it sucks, but fine. To be like I'm too focused to sign a waiver to be in a video game, that is absolute bullshit.
is only
Why
like
can't
$6
people just
bucks.
be authentic? Just be like, tell the truth. I don't want to be in the video game because they're not paying me enough.
But that's where, like, I forgot who I saw tweet it. They're like, he knows he doesn't have to play. Is he under the impression
Exactly.
that he has to play or, like, do something?
Do they still do the thing where they would make certain athletes show up to like the EA Sports studios with all those little light bulbs all over them? Those little, you know what I'm talking? The motion sensor things.
Like, professionally they do. But,
Yeah,
you know,
but,
college
like-
football was always just like a fake player, just a name.
Right. So I think that's what they should do. They should do University of Texas sophomore number 18 or whatever number he is.
That's what they're going to do.
Like, who was it? LeVar Arrington.
But I don't know if but that was the whole thing because they're like, this is me. It's my likeness, but it's not.
Yeah. Why did LeVar Arrington not do it?
Why was it?
That was Whitney. There it is.
Yeah. Like that's, and I love that video game. So it's like, this is one of those things where it's like, I will like.
He's not even going to start next year either.
I'm surprised he didn't transfer.
Yeah, but the way his recruiting and everything went, like, he seems under a strict
Watch,
guideline.
for sure.
Like, you're not transferring, Art.
Yeah, but what if he never starts there?
You're gonna ride this out. Well, I mean, Ewers only got one more year, probably.
The other kid, but they're always. I mean, Texas is recruiting kids all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Also saw a nice spirited debate on Pick Central by our healthy debate guy, Rico Bosco.
Yeah.
He didn't like that Jason Kelsey did not wear sleeves to his retirement ceremony. Very curious on your takes, especially yours.
Wasn't classy enough.
Yeah, he's like that. Like, you should not be sleeveless. And
First of all, it's not a ceremony. It was just like a little press conference.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not like he went out to the middle of the field wearing, you know, like they had some big, like they did another Chelios thing. If he showed up to an event like that where he wasn't wearing sleeves, maybe that's not the right decorum. But okay.
A little. I don't see what the. Who cares? I don't.
What do you think about that?
I don't care, but Dave you're a decorum guy.
Am I?
Well, there was a point where you would kind of be like, I don't wear sweatpants. I wear jeans every day. You know, like you're a little judgy about people who would wear the sweatpants until you started getting row back.
Yeah, that changed the calculus a little bit. Yeah, that's just what?
So
It's
no
a press conference. Who cares? It's not.
I also feel like this has been like his identity the entire
Look
time.
at Max's
like,
response.
What did Max say?
Shut
the fuck up.
and then there was someone who did agree with Rico. I also don't agree with Rico.
Mm-hmm.
There was someone who did agree with Rico. His name was Captain Cons.
Oh, well, that.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it's not everything needs to be by the fucking book. Captain Cons is so goddamn insecure.
Why going after Cons for this take?
I mean, Rico is just an unhinged lunatic, as we all know. Cons is like, he can at least gather himself and make a coherent thought when he's got the fucking heat lamps on him. But he needs people to know how prim and proper he is.
He's persnickety.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just a persnickety guy.
Yeah, he's persnickety.
Really persnickety.
Yeah.
Isn't that a word almost extinct?
I was extinct, or maybe I never even knew it, but then Chaps brought it back talking about Cons on one of our shows. Called him persnickety, and I can't get it out of my head because he is persnickety.
Shut the fuck up, Cons.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Have you guys been watching the Clemmer stream at all?
Little clips. I was talking to somebody about, I think I could do it. The only thing that would fuck me up is not, because he doesn't know what time it is, right? Ever?
No, he doesn't know how.
So that's the thing. If I had a clock in the corner where I knew, like, all right, it's been 6 hours. But if I think where you start to go crazy is, okay, I don't know how long it's been. You know, like, have I been in here for 18 hours or has it been only 6? Like, because I think it would be hard to gauge that, and then it's like, I don't know if I can do this for another, like, you might be thinking, I don't know if I can do this for another 48 hours, but you only have 6 hours left. that kind of thing. So it's like, fuck it, I quit. But in terms of just being alone, I'm fine being alone.
Yeah, being alone's awesome.
But like in that environment, we have no entertainment. Like,
I don't think you could do it.
why?
Because it looks like hell, dude. He doesn't know anything, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
He has no phone, no TV, nothing. He's just in a padded room.
But you're allowed to have. He has the baseball almanac or something, right?
Does he?
I'm pretty sure he has baseball almanac. He has like pad and paper. Like if you
He
get
has pen and paper because he's handwriting blogs.
yeah, I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I do think if you gave me like I wouldn't choose that book, but if I chose like a long book that would take me 4 days to read, and I had a pad and paper and things like that. Oh,
This is the perfect product for me.
Makes me feel so good.
I sleep
What we
better.
got? Nivea for men?
and then Kate was saying, she's like, yeah, I think I could do it if I had a project. Like if I was going to paint a mural on a wall, like, which I guess I suppose you could do. Like Andy Dufresne had projects. He was tunneling through a wall, kind of made the time go by.
19 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He loved bringing
Yeah,
little.
he's writing a blog right now, handwritten.
As we speak. That also
So that's 1 day, 5 hours? Is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah. Did you see how in the middle of the night,
29 hours.
because he failed the challenge in the middle of the night, they're waking him up with Frank the Tank singing "Akon's Locked Up"?
What was the challenge in the night? I feel like this is the challenge.
No, yeah, he's got challenges within the challenge. You're right, which is like totally crazy. Yesterday it was like a puzzle and he didn't complete it, I believe. And so they put Frank the Tank on loop singing Akon's Locked Up. Today's he had to count like a whole bin of rice, and I think he already quit that. So I think he has another punishment coming up. Yes. Look at this guy.
But I don't think he should have to do extra things. Just being in solitary confinement is enough, is it not?
I agree. Must be. You got to wrinkle it up though. It's doing it for content.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to see him do something. Have you ever had to listen to a song on loop?
So I kind of do that on my own.
Stupid goddamn song at the start of this show every day.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like I remember when I first heard that "Something in the Orange," the Zach Bryan song. I think I'll probably listen to that for 4 days straight.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
If I like a song, I'll just fucking keep.
You might still be able to do it. I don't listen to Apple Music anymore, but you could sort your. So what I would do is when I got my first ever MacBook, I went to the Naperville library, and you could just check out CDs from them. So I would go to the library, rip all the CDs out of my computer, and just take them back. Mm-hmm. So I had like thousands and thousands. That was like what Napster became,
mm-hmm.
and then obviously now you can just stream music. But you could sort by how many plays, and 311 I wore the fuck out in college, like bad. It was like 10x any other artist or any song.
Picturing you at the Warrenville Library with like the Chumbawamba CD. Like, sorry, I just need this for a day. I need to rip it all off. So
Remember
I can
how
burn
good of a gift those iTunes gift cards were?
Oh yeah,
like
Yeah?
those were like
Yeah.
like you got those on your stocking on Christmas, and then I remember trying to like download songs and be like, sorry, our servers are too busy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't. Like everybody was doing that. Like that was a great thing. That was a great thing to get those iTunes gift cards.
Has Apple taken over the laptop game completely now?
I think I think every other office in the world, not every other, it's an exaggeration, but we're on Macs. I think most corporate offices use something else, a different type of PC. Like Lenovo is like a huge company. I've never met anybody with a Lenovo that didn't get it from work.
Yeah.
So,
I just went to Best Buy over the weekend, and there's no Apple there.
oh, really?
And it was just I didn't see it at least.
Maybe they only sell them at Apple stores. Is that
That's what I'm
yeah.
thinking.
All right.
And I was just like, damn. I was like, it's crazy. It just never occurred to me that, like, and I know people are still getting those, like we said, but like I remember I had a Dell in college.
I had a Dell. I had a Sony something at one point. I had an HP when I started this job. I had an HP. I had a friend of mine from college. He worked.
This guy hung on to that HP for like a year.
I'd never even opened this. It was in the box. And that was our first, until like that one died. And like that was part of that was I used that computer for my old job, and I didn't know what I was doing. You know, we had a 2-year deal or whatever that was. And I'm like, I have all these files or this other project that I want to kind of sort of keep alive. And I'm like, I don't want to fuck around with trying to transfer the file, losing the file. So I still have that computer.
I have my white MacBook from my sophomore year of college, the first ever computer I bought on my own, and I haven't tried to turn it on in years, but I have it solely because I know there's a picture of my friend with a fat chicken PCB. And I know he's listening.
You can't lose
and
that.
I know that it is driving him insane knowing that I still have access to that picture.
That you'll never.
And I will never relinquish it. Never, ever.
You know who you are.
You know exactly who you are. What camera am I looking at?
That's
Stare at it. There you go.
Right
You know who you are.
You're a Mincian for a second.
Yeah.
One eye was looking at me, the other eye was looking at Rick.
What's that from?
Chappelle Show.
Thank you.
Mm.
Man, I'm fucking sore, dude. Woke up with a stiff neck yesterday.
How was that massage?
She beat the fuck out of me.
Good.
Like my pecs are like bruised and shit. It was a beatdown.
You need a little rub down sometimes.
Yeah, it was a beatdown. Would that get drafted in the minor injury draft?
What?
A stiff neck?
I don't know. I don't even know if that counts as a minor injury. If you get a stiff neck, like, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, like I was gonna go. My high school was in the super sectional yesterday. I was gonna go to the game. I was like, I don't want
For
to.
basketball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to be talking.
Did they
to
win?
people. They lost in overtime.
Who they play?
Mount Carmel.
How's that Ciaravini kid look?
He's really good. Obviously,
They're counting on him to walk in and start next year, I'm pretty sure.
Who?
He had
Northwestern?
Yeah.
he had a slow start, and we were winning the whole game, and then blew it. And then I think he came on later in the game, but he's a big boy.
Yeah, he's like 6'6" point guard,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I feel like you have
from
a
Bridgeport.
lot of school pride.
It's just
Pats.
like it's just it's like a Catholic league thing,
Yeah.
Or like there's a lot of recruiting and whatnot. It's not like I chose to go there, right?
Yeah.
I didn't just hop on a bus and they're like, all right, take me to school. So it's a little different in a sense, maybe.
I guess I do feel a lot more pride for
Berkshire.
Berkshire
Yeah.
than for St. Charles.
And that makes
I was
sense.
wondering because that's where I finished. But they lost in the New England.
Was it an
semifinals
option for
yesterday.
you, like Notre Dame, Pats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garen,
Loyola, Garen.
Fenwick. I've shadowed at Fenwick.
Yeah, Fenwick. Yeah.
Yeah, so there were definitely options. For
St.
sure.
Pat's the closest to you?
No, Garen was the closest
Okay.
technically. Pats was second closest.
Okay.
And then
And
obviously
Fenwick's got to be right there, too, yeah.
Fenwick's not far, but
Yeah.
that was like the three I shadowed at.
Fenwick baseball field, my favorite high school field.
The Priory over there.
It's awesome high school field.
Yeah, I think my freshman year we played them. Mike Giller smacked one off the center field house.
That like little clubhouse thing out
Yep.
there, yeah.
Smoked one off.
Uh-huh.
Someone like called him a pussy or something.
Dude,
Next pitch he went deep. It was actually pretty
Giller
sick.
could fucking rake.
Yeah.
He could rake.
Shout out Mike Giller.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would say maybe that's why. Because and then there was obviously the CPS school that I would have had to go to.
Which is what?
I was always under the impression it was Steinmetz, which is not.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, it's not great. It sounded like Belmont and Marmora or some shit. But it might have been Taft. I don't really know.
Okay.
I always thought forever. So
I remember you telling me it was Taft because I asked.
So I'm not like this is like a new founding because I was always under the impression it was Steinmetz, but it may have been Taft.
Where
One of
did-
the two for sure.
Pat's is all boys, right?
Yes.
Where'd your sisters go to high school?
Trinity. It's an all-girls school in
Okay.
River Forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
If it would have been different if my high school if they wouldn't have left at DVC because it was us and Wheaton North were the two small schools in West Chicago too, and then we would just beat the fucking shit out of all the Naperville schools that were twice the size of us, and we didn't care. As soon as that started evening out, Wheaton South's like, nope, we're out. Those schools are too big for us.
They were
Yeah,
the
that's
old
Too many
upstate eight.
kids.
I agree. That's not a great move.
It's such a bitch move, and ever since then I'm like, fuck them.
Because they were there. Like they were like the dogs for a
Beat
while.
the fucking shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody.
So you think you would care more if it was still there?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If they were still, yeah.
But aren't you in a league with like Nico and Wabanzi now?
No, they're in the St. Charles Conference now, the Duquesne or whatever. It's
Well, because when I was in high school at St. Charles, it was Nico and Wabanzi were in
That was
the
upstate eight, yeah.
Yeah.
now it's all the Nequa schools or all the Naperville schools. So Nequa, Matea, Naperville North, Naperville Central, are in a conference with
Yeah. Okay.
Whoever, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's the St. Charles and Wheaton Warrenville.
Yeah, it's just very
'Cause
competitive.
that's like still a good league, I guess, is my point.
Fuck it.
But no,
It's not nearly as good.
but it is. Like Batavia's gone to the state championship. St. Charles has.
DVC was elite back in the
It was
Sure,
the league.
but
Catholic.
No.
And DVC.
The DVC smoked Catholic League in football every year. It didn't matter who was playing.
I feel like you could make an argument that Duquesne has performed better as a league in recent years than that.
Maybe.
They're not playing all the Catholic League schools, though.
What do you mean? They're going. They've sent like 4 different teams.
Yeah,
to
against
state championship.
Yeah, and like 5 and 6. They're not playing the
Seven-
Catholic League
7A.
school.
They're 7A, 7 or 8A, depending on the year.
Wheat North did just go to the state championship, didn't they? So I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Duquesne might be the league.
No, it's not. It's not.
How can you say that if they're?
I mean, it does.
Chief Promise me.
It does shift though, Dave. Like things do change.
I think you're wrong because
I'm not.
Batavia's been multiple times. St. Charles and North.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Batavia's awesome football program.
Right.
They're not playing Mount Carmel, St. Rita. They're not playing those schools.
Yeah, they
to get
did.
to
They
state.
played Mount Carmel back-to-back years to go to state.
Mount Batavia did.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost positive.
What class
Those-
is Batavia?
7.
Yeah.
Batavia's gotten up to 70 because
Yeah,
they were 5.
yeah.
They were 5 when
No, they're above that.
Oh yeah.
But even like Joliet Catholic used to be like
5. Yeah.
4 or 5A.
Yeah, and then they had the multiplier, which
they're co-ed.
for the no, they don't have to do that because they're co-ed now.
I think you just haven't been paying attention a little bit.
Yeah.
No, the Duquesne fucking sucks.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
The only team that sucks in the Duquesne is St. Charles East.
All right, we could wrap this up. That's
That's talking high school
That's
football.
a nice 8-minute segment on high school football and basketball. So, shout out to you if you enjoyed that. Shout out to you for listening. We'll see you guys on Thursday with Ian Happ.
Do, 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 do.